Okay. All right, we are doing a little more factoring. Here we go. Same stuff as before, just some more practice. Example 1. And again, this is factor completely. Factor completely, meaning that you need to just make sure that you can't factor anymore. That you factor and you create as many bubbles as you possibly can. We have 120x plus 9x squared minus 3x cubed. What do you notice about these three terms? They're not in standard form. And I think that for me, for beginning, I think it's easy to write them in standard form. It's helpful. So we want the highest power first, so that'd be the negative 3x cubed. Then we have a positive 9x squared. And last but not least, we have that positive 120x. From there, what do you see? Greatest common factor, greatest common factor. Right off the bat, they each have an x that we can take out. But is there another greatest common factor? Negative 3. Negative 3. First of all, absolutely take off the negative. If there's a negative out in front, we want to take that out. It makes life so much easier. How do I know that 9, well, 9 is obviously divisible by 3. How do I know that 120 is divisible by 3? Add the digits. That's right. Very good. So if you add 1 plus 2 plus 0, you get 3. And that is a number divisible by 3. All right? And that works all the time. If you add up the digits and they're divisible by 3, then the number itself is divisible by 3. Nice big hint there. That's a good one to know. All right, so we're going to take out this GCF. So that means I'm undistributing. I am unmultiplying, and it just moves to the head of the line. It does not disappear, okay? It just relocates. We are undistributing it. How does each term clean up? X squared, good. The negative 3 and positive 3 cancel out. The negative 3 and the negative 3 cancel out. That's just 1. X cubed divided by x is x squared. 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. X squared divided by x is x. Here, the x on top and x on bottom cancel out. And negative 120 divided by negative 3 is negative 40. All right, we're not done. We found a GCF, and now we get to double bubble the leftovers. Let's see. First times first has to be the first thing. What times what is x squared? X times x. X times x is x squared. And then last times last has to be negative 40. What times what is negative 40? Negative 8 times 5, or negative 5 times 8. We definitely want this one because we want the negatives to win. So negative 8 and positive 5. X, this is x to the first, and here we have x to the first. That's a clue I can't go any further. I could double check my rainbow just to make sure I've got it right. X times 5 is 5x. Negative 8 times x is negative 8x. And when we add those together, negative 8 and 5, that's where my negative 3x comes from. Okay. These are fully factored. This is what Delta Math wants today. Making as many bubbles as you can. GCF out in front. Any questions on that one? All right. Letter B, we got 4x cubed minus 7x squared minus 64x plus 112. How many terms are there? 4 terms, which means we need to do what? Split. Yeah, the factor by grouping is what it's called. Factor by grouping, and split is sort of the first action we're going to do. We're going to split these into two terms in front and two terms at the back, and we're just, again, looking for greatest common factors. So when I look at these first two terms, what can we take out of those?
X.
Not just one x, x squared. We can take x squared out of both of those, and again, it just relocates to the front of the line. What's left over if I take out the x squared? 4x minus 7. Beautiful. X squared divided by x squared goes away. X cubed divided by x squared is just x. Then we look to the last two terms, and again, we want to ask ourselves, hey, what are they divisible by? They're divisible by a lot of things. They're divisible by 2 because they're both even. They're divisible by 4, I think. 112 divided by 4, 28, yep. But there's even something bigger. 16, I believe, yep. They are divisible by 16. So I want to take out this sign here, that leading sign right there. So negative 16, we're going to take out of both of those. Always take whatever sign is in front of that term. That's third term there. And again, it just moves to the front of the line. And we say, what's left over? What is 64 divided by 16? 4 with an x. Good. 112 divided by negative 16? Negative 7. Good. And now we can see that, bless you, now they have bubbles in common. That's another greatest common factor here. And again, those common bubbles just move to the front of the line. 4x minus 7. And we see, hey, what's left behind? X squared and that minus 16 there. Great. That was factor by grouping. Are we done? No. Not done. Why not? That's the x squared minus 16 here. X squared minus 16 has a special name. What's it called? Difference of squares. Difference of squares. 16 is 4 times 4. X is x times x. Those are perfect squares, which means they go a little bit further. X times x is x squared. What times what is negative 16? Positive 4 and negative 4. And this term in front, 4x minus 7, goes right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is fully factored. That is what Delta Math is wanting today. Questions on that one? Good? That jackhammering is just awesome. Totally makes my Friday complete. All right, here we go. Last two. We have 6x minus 5x cubed minus x to the 5th. What do you want to do with letter C here? Write it in standard form. Yeah, I definitely want to rearrange. I like having my powers in order. It just makes life a little bit better. So here we go. I'm going to have negative x to the 5th first. Then my next highest power, negative 5x cubed, and then finally a positive 6x. Now, what can we do here? Yeah, they got a GCF here. They all have an x. We can take out. And I got this leading negative, so I'm going to take out a negative x. All right, so negative x is going to come out. And again, GCF just moves to the front of the line. Undistributed. All right, negative divided by negative is positive. X to the 5th divided by x is x to the 4th. Negative divided by negative is positive. 5x cubed divided by x is 5x squared. That jackhammering's really getting to me. Here we have the x's that cancel out. 6 divided by negative 1 is negative 6. Are we done? Nope, did add a double bubble some more here. So we're going to double bubble this trinomial. All right, first times first has to be the first thing. What times what is x to the fourth? X squared. The middle term helps us out with that. You can see it's x squared. That means these liters also need to be x squared. Then last times last has to be negative 6. What times what is negative 6? 6 times negative 1. Good. Wasn't the only option. That's the correct option, though. Positive 6 and a negative 1. That's great factoring. Are we done? No. What do we see? We still see some x squareds, and particularly this one. This one is what's known as, what's the special name? Difference of squares. Very good. 1 is a perfect square. 1 times 1. Is 6 a perfect square?
No.
No, it's a rectangle. 2 times 3. Not a perfect square. It's a rectangle shape. So that means that that little factor goes one more step. What times what is x squared? X times x. And what times what is negative 1? Positive 1, negative 1. Beautiful. And everything else we just bring along. All right, letter D is the last one here. We have 8 minus 27b cubed. 8 minus 27b cubed. How many terms is that? 2 terms. And what do you notice about those numbers? Cubes. Difference of cubes is what this is. You could rearrange it if you wanted to, but that's just an extra step that isn't actually going to help here. This is difference of perfect cubes. This is that pattern we learned on Monday. So we need to see, hey, what is being cubed to get 8? 2. Excellent. 2 is being cubed. And then what is being cubed to get 27v cubed? 3 with a v. Yep. 3v times 3v times 3v is how we get that 27v cubed. And now, difference of cubes has a small bubble factor and a big bubble. What do the signs do? Minus, plus, plus. Very good. Minus, plus, plus every time. That sign stays the same. And our little bases here just come down. We get the 2 first, and then the 3v in the second position there. You'll notice we don't use the big numbers. We don't use the 8 and the 27. We got to find out their roots, their bases, okay? Use little baby numbers here. And then the pattern is square the first thing, multiply for the middle, and square the last thing. So we square the first thing, which would be 2 times 2. What is that? 4. We multiply them together in the middle. What's 3v times 2? 6v. Not x, 6v. 6v is a better choice. There we go. Do I have to worry about the negative? Nope, don't even think about the signs. They're already in place, so we get to ignore. We're just looking at the base here, the 3v and the 2. And then we square the last thing. 3v times 3v is 9v squared. And this second term, this second bubble here never ever factors. And that is fully factored for Delta Math. Okay? Beautiful. Do you have any questions for me? All right, more practice today. You have a Delta Math assignment. So again, you just want to find all the bubbles.